The 29. Tackle there by Clay Matthews.
First down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule.
On second down, Freeman. And backer Ryan Shazier here there to make the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Where to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald able to drop him for a loss of 12, and it'll be fourth down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 48 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Elliott, toss right. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. So that'll do it for the first quarter as we are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought
with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got a second down and 8 to start things out. On second down, here's Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted. I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
And Crosby puts it through, and they take a 17-14 lead. So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Now Ryan on second down. A left side completion to Jones. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Pryor has it complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. A first down carry by Elliott. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
On regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So now it's 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And a hook up over the middle to Pryor. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. Well, now they'll try the end around. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
No lack of guts at all on that one. Normally in this situation in the red zone, that type of play isn't run, but I think they're trying to catch the defense off guard and also break tendency. No one really runs that type of a play. Guess what? We are. Let's see how you handle it.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Vic Beasley coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
13 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
On the sneak, Rodgers. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move, to influence the defensive front, to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
I really don't think that Julio Jones could be happier right now. Plenty of catch opportunities in this game. He's converted them, and his team's winning.
And Matt Ryan's happy, too, to have Julio Jones on the other side of these.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times we talk about breaking teams down, and oftentimes just through a running game. These two, they can break a team down through the air. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
They don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. Now it's Ryan. Connects with Sanu right side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Seth Roberts from 13 yards out. And the Falcons will extend their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Falcons set to get things rolling on defense again here. Last time, pretty big moment in the game. Deciding to pass on the field goal. They went for it on 4th. This defense got the stop.
And it's always interesting to watch, too, to watch both sides. Are we going to go for it on offense? The defense waiting to see which unit they need to have on the field. Are they going to kick the field goal or not? And once you realize they're going to go for it, to watch the defense now kind of mount a little extra energy to try and stop them. And when they're successful, the emotion just really comes out. Pep and a little bit more than than that.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Caught by Nelson left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. After the interception, here's Ryan. Finds Roberts left side. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Shift together here from the D-line. Now Ryan on 2nd down. The left side completion to Jones. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. To throw, it's Rodgers. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They go play action here on 1st down, finding time. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sam Shields. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he is going to loop. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Tough spot for the offense, 3rd and 8. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Rodgers going to throw. And And that is incomplete. First half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. Jeez, I don't even want to let their guys get a drink of water. All right, third quarter, let's get to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. It's Desmond Trufant. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And it's a fumble. And the Packers pick it up. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got
on 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a second down. Decent chunk of yardage still left here, 2nd and 7. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space.
And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, 39 yards. And the Falcons capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They'll come out in the pistol. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
So this brings up a 2nd and 2.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Mike Daniels in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
Hey, 88, 58. 5-2 is the light. Wide left.
One man on the backfield, Elliott.
88.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Cliff Averill in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Pryor has it complete. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. And now they're in the hurry-up. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. And they're going to speed things up here. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He's got time, and he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now 4th down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love it here.
We'll see. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Freeman again. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And it's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On 3rd down, Ryan. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
The Falcons defense gearing up as they take the field. The crew that got the stop last time led to 3 points. Well, that was good, but they're probably thinking, hey, we'll get you the stop again offense. You get us a touchdown here.
Just add to the points total, right? But the defense has to have a ton of confidence. Someone goes for it against you on their own side of the 50. No. Stuff them, turn over the offense, and you're right. They'll take 3 on the 1st time. If they do it again, though, they expect a touchdown.
Yeah, well, first they've got to do it. Let's see if they can.
26, over here. 319. Watch it. 319.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Deep drop. And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking.
Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them.